Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of More Than Able podcast. I'm Margie, and I'm here today with Dr. Riley Schmitz, who is a chiropractor and has his master's in exercise science, all while being visually impaired. Welcome to the show, Riley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I like to start my episodes with a game of Would You Rather. Are you interested?
Let's do it.
Would you rather have telekinesis, or the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, the ability to read minds?
You know what? I think I would rather be able to move things with my mind.
Oh, that's amazing. I would rather have telepathy so I can read people's minds. Okay, second would you rather question. Would you rather have a personal maid to clean your house or a personal chef to cook you food?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I gotta go with the personal chef, though. I do love my food.
Oh, me too. I would definitely go for that too. That was fun. Let's learn more about you. So when did you know you wanted to be a chiropractor?
Yeah, so when I was going through my undergraduate work down at Winona State, my sophomore year, there was a bunch of different professionals that came in and talked about different things that we could do with our profession. And, you know, I've been an athlete my entire life, and I've enjoyed being able to stay active. And one of the people that came in was a chiropractor, and it seemed like a really good way that I could combine my love for learning about the human body and also be able to help people be able to stay healthy and be able to stay active like I've been fortunate enough to be able to do. And it also seemed like a really good way that I could have a hands-on field because like you mentioned in the intro, I am visually impaired. So, you know, it just seemed like a good way that I would be able to use my tools of touch and my enhanced sense of feel that I've been using my entire life in my profession to my advantage.
That's wonderful. Was the schooling and training hard?
It was definitely very grindy. You know, I wouldn't say I thought it was overly hard just because I've always really loved learning about science, really loved learning about the human body. So, you know, it was very grindy. It was 10-hour days of sitting in class all day for 3.5 years, but
Wow.
I enjoyed it the entire time. So I'd say I just really enjoyed the experience. So it never really felt hard to me.
That's awesome. I've actually gotten work done, or chiropractic work done on me, and it's amazing what people, like how the human body is and how chiropractors just like know the right places and the right like movements and things like that. So that's wonderful. So how did you find out about BNI, or the Business Networking International?
Yeah, so when I started up as an associate at the practice that I'm currently working at, the owner of the clinic was actually out on vacation, and I got the opportunity to go and visit his BNI group, and I loved the experience, loved going and getting to meet new people and, you know, getting to be a part of that environment. So after that, I happened to look around my area to see if there was a networking group that I would be able to join that didn't already have a chiropractor as part of the group. And there happened to be one like a mile down the road from where I live. So it ended up being really convenient for me. I went there and happened to really love the group of people that were there, and everything kind of just fell into place from there.
Fantastic. And I should add for the listeners, that's actually how you and I met. Was my dad, you and my dad are a part of the same Business Networking International group, and I went and spoke at it, and my dad had actually told me your story ahead of time. And I was really fascinated, and then I met you, and I was even more fascinated, and so I was like, I gotta have Riley on the show and than I asked, and you said yes, and it's just a great group, and it's so cool that they opened their doors to you and everything, so that's fantastic. So what was working on a person for the first time like?
So working in a person, so, you go through about your first year of schooling, learning all the basic sciences, learning all the anatomy, the physiology, the biochemistry, like learning how everything works. So it was a really cool experience, kind of getting to put all that into like actual like clinical setting, getting to go on and feel all the origins, insertions of the muscles, and getting to actually start putting some of the stuff that you had seen on images, the stuff that you had learned in classes, into actual use.
That's incredible. Has there been like a body that's been really hard for you to work on, would you say?
I would say, everybody, it's so individualized, and people respond to different stimuli differently. So some people might respond to one form of treatment better than others do. So yeah, there's definitely a learning curve, and there's definitely some individual aspects and things that you will learn as you go through only working on people and through only experience. There's certain parts of the job and for certain parts of practicing that you only learn through the experience. So there's definitely been some bumps along the road that it only makes you better in clinical practice, and you just learn from those experiences.
Wow, inspiring. So what was growing up like?
So I grew up in a real small rural town of 600 people. So like I mentioned before, I, from an early age, got really into athletics and got really into being active. And that's kind of where I found my sense of community. And growing up, I participated in a lot of different sports and participated in a lot of different physical activities. Like wrestling is one that I found that was one that was very adaptive to me growing up, that I was able to use as a way to meet people and a way that I could interact with a community that was enjoyable.
I love that. How has being visually impaired changed your life?
I think being visually impaired, it's made me more adaptive. It's made me be able to critically think through situations and adapt my environment. Obviously I got to live in a bigger city like this, so I have access to things like transportation and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'd say being visually impaired has only made me more adaptive. And then, I think I've found a deeper level of passion for the things that I do, like the athletics, and my love for working with people and working on people came through my experiences as a blind person.
Thank you for sharing. So, keeping with the athletics, I understand you do judo and jujitsu, and you just came back from a judo competition overseas. What was that like, and what's your favorite thing about judo and jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, that was a really cool experience. It was the first time that I'd ever been out of the United States. So getting back to learning about learning curves, getting used to being in 11 time zones away was definitely a learning curve for me. It was really cool getting to experience a different culture, a different way that people live and go about things. So that was really an eye-opening experience for me there. And just getting to compete at a higher level like that was a really awesome experience too. I've been doing judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu for about 7 years now, so I've been training a long time. And I'd say the thing that I love training the most is the tangible progress that you see when you go in and you put hard work in, and then you see moves transition from being able to do them on like a static opponent that's not fighting you back, and then getting to execute them in live training and live rolling, and then getting to execute them in a live tournament setting as well. So just seeing that progression as you put the hard work in, seeing the tangible improvements in your game.
Wow. Now, were you on a team or was it individual?
It was a individual. There was 2 of us from the United States, so we competed individually, but we were part of the U.S. team.
Wow, amazing. What advice do you have for other visually impaired individuals who want to do certain things like jujitsu, judo, or chiropractic, or maybe even all 3 like you?
I'd say just find something that you're really passionate at and find a way to go out and pursue that. Don't let fear of your visual impairment or fear of like, how am I going to get to this place? How is this going to be adaptable? Hold you back. Find something that you truly are passionate in, and go and introduce yourself to that community. And from there, you can work together with them to find a way in which it's going to be adaptable and a way in which you can be successful, because everybody has the capability to do whatever they want. They just need to be resilient and figure out ways to be adaptive and adapt their environment to their own personal needs.
Well said. So this is a question I like to ask all my guests. What does the term more than able mean to you, Riley?
The term more than able to me means that anybody is more than able of achieving the goals that they want to attain. They just need to figure out ways that they can achieve that by working on how they're going to adapt to that to make it accessible to them, whether that's they need to get special training to do it, or whether that means that they need to find adaptive different ways to go about it, because maybe they have to find a tactile way to do something instead of being able to see it, or just any other accessible means like that.
Wow. I am truly inspired by you, Riley. That is amazing, and I'm sure everybody who listens to this will be equally inspired by you, so thank you. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Riley, for coming on the show. Tune in next time to hear who I'm talking to, and just remember, you are more than able.